Hi guys, welcome to Vibe with Ivy YouTube channel. Today I have another interesting vlog. So I've had a lot of myths about farming and that is what I want to address as a farmer. Yeah, I've been in the farming industry for quite some time. So I want to tell you what people are saying that are myths and they are not true. One thing, thing number one is that organic foods are more nutritious. No, 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 that is not true. Whether you use chemicals or you do not use chemicals, it doesn't matter which food is more nutritious. One thing that you need to know as a farmer, you definitely need to know to have a way of how you'll get rid of the things that affect your farm. For instance, if you're faced with pests and diseases, what as a farmer are you supposed to do? You're not supposed still to use those chemicals. Then you'll just stay there and suffer all the losses in the name of that organic food are more nutritious. Okay, also if you have large pieces of land, what do you do when it comes to getting rid of the weeds? It will become so much expensive for you to employ people who will be working in those gardens. Again, you'll need to supervise them over and over again. Therefore, use of chemicals will make it easier for you as a farmer. GMOs are evil. That is a lie, guys. I don't know why people say GMOs are evil. GMOs are just scientifically generated. So I can't speak so much about GMOs since I don't know if what to what extent is what is used to make the GMOs, but for sure I can tell you that GMOs are not evil. Evil is really a strong term to be used for something that we have consumed in one way or another. The next thing is large scale agriculture is unsuitable. What do you mean by when you say that large scale farming is unsuitable or it is unsustainable? It is very easy to manage large scale farming. The only thing you need is you just need to be very much prepared and you be aware of what to expect in your farm and be that focused and great farmer that you look forward to become. Another thing is that farmers are uneducated. Who said that? Guys, nowadays farming has been adapted by everyone, unlike our the traditional days when people used to farm a lot. And even in those days there was no education. So people used to farm as a means of getting food. Nowadays, do not assume just because someone is a farmer that they have not gone to school. No, I'm a farmer myself and I've done up to my degree level in the university. So you can't say that farming is for the uneducated. Farming has a lot of good money. And once you discover that, you will not be selective when it comes to the type of work that you want to do. Another myth that I have seen is that farming is tradition and low tech. That is another myth. Tradition, what do you mean? Nowadays, technology has really improvised very many machines that can be used in the farm. Nowadays, you do not have to go entirely and farm by yourself. No, you can use those machines. They can do the planting for you. I don't know if you people have seen the planting machines. There are those planting machines that have been developed. There are harvesting machines. There are weeding machines. What else do you want, guys? Those are enough to be used in the farm. Okay, and nowadays technology has really done it, and gone are the days when you used to take pankers and jembes going to the shamba or going to the farm. No, guys, technology has really involved, most especially in the farming sector. Maybe if you are not aware of that, please, that is a myth. Try and do research, and you will discover that a lot or very many things have been developed technologically in the farming sector. All food additives are bad. What do you want us to do? Do you want us to just look at the plant as it grows and in a very bad state or what? I don't know why someone somewhere would think like that. Honestly speaking, if you farm a piece of land over and over and for a long time, it definitely means that the fertility of the soil will go low. The plant also affect the soil pH. It definitely means that you need to use some additives to your soil that will help this plant grow. You need to apply fertilizers, okay? You need to use that animal droppings. We need to incorporate very many things that will provide the soil with the nutrients that will enable the crops to grow effectively. How do you expect I invest my money in that farm and I do not add additives to that farm for the crops to grow effectively so that I can have that great harvest? And after that great harvest, I can now sell and get and make those profits. Yeah, so let's have the two sides. Let's look at the situation from both angles. Do not be biased when you're thinking about the agriculture sector. Another thing is that farmers are overusing chemicals. Of course, there are measurements that are provided that you are supposed to use when you're using these chemicals. It's not like you take the entire can and put and go spray to your farm. No, when you're using these chemicals, okay, I don't deny that we are using chemicals, but when you're using these chemicals, they have a measure. To what extent are you required to apply this type of a chemical? Even if you're required to apply 1 ml and you apply 10 mls, it will never make sense. The crop will only consume the 1 ml and the other 9 ml you will have just have wasted. Okay, so as farmers we also follow instructions that are given, and we take and we do what is expected of us. We don't just do things for the sake of doing it. Another thing is that pesticides are unnecessary. Okay, now that pesticides are unnecessary, which other measures can we take to get rid of the pest? Gone are the days gone are the days when people used to grow crops and they will grow effectively without any pests consuming them or any pest attacking the farm. Nowadays, once you grow something in your farm, within a very short time, you have a type of pest that is affecting your crop. Now, for example, let us take these caterpillars. When that caterpillar comes in my farm, okay, it all eats all the leaves of the plants that are growing. How do we expect that plant to process its food? Okay, the plants process their food through the leaves. Once those leaves have been eaten, it definitely means that that plant will not grow. Therefore, we need to use these pesticides to get rid of this pest. Imagine you have acres of land. How are we going to get rid of those caterpillars if you have acres of land? This is just a general thing that people tend to think, but to my perspective, I think we should be thinking otherwise. Organic farming is not economical. I don't know who said that. Even if I'm telling you, even if I told you that it is not more nutritious, it doesn't also not mean that it is not economical. It is economical. If it's working for you, well and good. Continue doing that. Those myths are quite, I don't know. I can't even comment on that, guys. But by yourself, if you're not in the farming sector, please do not just come up with things that you think in your brain, and you're not in the farming sector to experience personally. Okay, so let us be broad, let us have that open mind, and let us be ready to learn. And I know, guys, when we are ready to learn, everything will really be easy for us. Thank you so much, guys, for watching till the end of the vlog. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share, hit that notification bell so that each and every time I'll be uploading, you will be notified. Till we meet in the next one, bye bye.